In rowing, there is only one person who's got an eye on the finish line. Only the cox faces forwards. They are the smallest member of the crew, but with one of the largest influences on the outcome of the race. At the Olympics, there is only one coxed boat class, the 8. Caleb Shephard is the cox in the Kiwi men's 8. He knows what it's all about.
The 8 is all about collective, just collective effort, collective power, and everything has to be done together. So if someone's slightly out of sync, then it's my job to sort of direct them and try to help them get back into sync with the rest of the boat.
Facing the cox, there's the stroke seat, a special kind of relationship.
Well, my job's to set the rhythm in the boat and be consistent is the big one for me, and I think my job with Caleb is to coordinate with him and say, how the boat's feeling to me, because obviously if he's sitting there watching it, he can't feel it quite as well as we would being able to row it. So I'll say to him partway through a race, hey, this is what I'm feeling, we maybe this, or just give him a bit of feedback so that he's got more on the same page so he can coordinate the boat a bit better. When we're in the boat, Caleb's the boss.
At the end of the day, it's up to me, so I just got to interpret what they're feeling and take it into account, and then what we do with it, I have to decide that.
In the past few years, Great Britain's big boat has been a real flagship for the national squad. For the cox Phelan Hill, this means handling expectations and leading the big names in his crew.
It's a little bit like being a jockey. In a way, I look at the guys in my boat, I look down it, and they're like the thoroughbred horse. And you're the jockey, you're steering that horse. And at certain points in time, you can ask the horse to go harder, but you can't just you just can't whip it and keep going it. So, it's a similar sort of like role. You go off, you need to go and motivate your horse. You need to steer your horse well, and they're your main two weapons. But you have to have that right balance between, working them hard and making sure, they're calm and they're relaxed. And so I think, if you're ever going to say what the best analogy is, it's probably a little bit like a racehorse. No one person is bigger than the boat, and we're in a team which is so competitive that everyone listens. And I think that's like the most important part. So, be it Greg Searle, be it Alex Gregory, multiple world champion, Olympic champion. Alex, whatever you say, he will listen to, and he'll want to make himself better. So, there's no real pressure on that in terms of that point of me saying, actually, you need to do something better, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to improve, everyone wants to get better, and everyone wants to take that opportunity. So,
is there any secret, any ritual or superstition aboard?
There are definitely superstitions. I have like a huge superstition that I always have to touch the stroke man's feet. It's a really one. So always, my last thing that I do before a race is always touch my stroke man's foot, whoever it is, whatever the guy, and then bang the boat. That's something I always have to do. I don't know why, it's something which has developed.
Arie Noort is the coxswain of the Netherlands Women's 8. She gives us some insights on the gadgets she uses.
So when we go out in the water, I always take two devices with me. So the first one is the cox box. The cox box is attached to the headset, so that's also a microphone, so everyone in the 8 can actually hear me without me yelling all the time. And then next we have the speed coach. This is actually a GPS device. So what I can see is the strokes per minute. I can see the split, so actually how fast you are going, the time, and this is the distance, so how many meters we have already rowed. The trick of steering is to steer as less as possible, because with every steering motion you slow down the boat. So it's actually quite a small motion that I make, of course, for the boat. In the race, of course, we have the lanes, so that's your only reference that you have, but the rest it's feeling.
In the women's world of rowing, there is one dominating big boat, the Women's 8 of Team USA. Two-time world champion Katelin Snyder is making the calls in this boat.
So during the race, I am basically just calling the race plan. So I'm letting everyone know how fast they're going, how fast the other boats are going, and where they are in the pack. So kind of the way that I would describe it is that it's like a quarterback in American football. I'm not actually powering the boat, but I am like calling the plays and telling them when to go harder or maybe make a technical change.
But what does world and Olympic champion Megan Masnicki think about her coxswain?
You can't really give what she does kind of a percentage based on the 9 of us in the boat. We couldn't do what we do without her. I like to joke that we could, but
A tow, right?
I could just do a tow and it would be totally fine. 2K race is pretty painful, and she steers the boat and tells us, like she said, tells us where we are. But it's also helpful to have an external voice other than one that's inside your head that's telling you that this hurts, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then you hear her and you're just like, you're pulled out of the pain cave and you can kind of embrace it for a little while longer, and she makes it so you don't get caught up in your thoughts.
I'm just there to get everyone on the same page. So as long as everyone knows this is the time that we push right now, then they feed off of each other more than I feed them. Does that make sense? So like when you're in the boat and you can feel the girls in front of you and the girls behind you going, it sucks you in and you go too. And I'm just there to say, okay, all 8, this is where we go now, so that everyone's putting in at the exact same time.
In the end, it's a matter of trust. The coxswains need to keep their crew in sync, because to go for gold, you have to row as one team.